Chris Weidman in studio. And Chris, you're a morning person. I guess it's because you have kids, because right now you're pretty chipper considering, at least it's early for me. What is it, like 9:41? How you feeling? Feeling good?
Feeling good, man. Just high on life. I got Justin Bieber in the room with me right now. He's my manager.
Who is this guy over here? Bieber-esque.
Yeah, he is just wonderful human being. And then we have The Rock to the left.
He looks more like a Kobe Bryant if Kobe Bryant was hitting the gym every day. Hey,
a Jack Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, jacked Kobe Bryant.
And then let's keep going down the line. How about the other guy? What do you think he looks like?
Let me see. I don't know.
Someone give me something.
He's got a very generic look, but I can't think of a movie star.
Everyday guy.
And then Ryan Grab from the UFC kind of has a Ryan Gosling look to him.
Ryan Gosling, yeah.
Ryan Gosling look.
Or a starting quarterback for Alabama.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Brings his hair down a little bit. He needs some bangs.
Yeah, seriously.
Bama bangs.
So what's your schedule composed of today? I know you were in town for not only the promotion of this fight, but last time I saw you, actually was in Vegas, but that the UFC's got the World Tour going on. What exactly is your day composed of here in New York?
Well, I got a couple of interviews this morning, and then I have my family. I haven't seen my family in a couple of days. I was in Toronto for a few days, and I went to LA, then Vegas. Now I'm in New York for one day. So my family, I'm from New York, obviously, so they're going to drive into the city, hang out with them a little bit, and then at 5 o'clock, we have an autograph signing on John Street at the UFC gym.
Does your wife give you shit over the fact that we don't hang out? You're a gamer. Grand Theft Auto 5 just came out. I'm sure when you're home, you want to catch up on gaming. Does she give you any crap over the fact that you're not around? Does she understand that you're out paying the bills?
I mean, that's the crap I want to get. That's the crap I want to get.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if I'm able to have the time to play video games and she's giving me crap on that, I'm doing good. But as of late, I've been so busy doing other stuff that I haven't even been able to get to the point where she's giving me crap about playing video games.
You get tired of it, just always being on the go? You have to focus on training for your fight with Anderson Silva. Does it get to the point where you're sometimes like, I can't deal with this?
Yeah, I wish I had a better management team around me because they're always
Bieber, you're dropping the ball, Bieber.
They're just kind of always worried about themselves and trying to make money off every little appearance I do. I'd rather them just be focused on me winning my next fight and not really traveling around the world.
Yeah, I know. Your Bieber manager is just like, we need these Chris Weidman bobblehead dolls. Come on.
Can we get a close-up? Because there is video in studio, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm busy walking out with Floyd.
Ah, yeah, exactly.
TMT.
Spending too much time with Floyd, the money team. Exactly.
Money team in the building.
So
he has a wallpaper shirt on, too, like snowflakes.
Yeah, it kind of looks like drapes, I'd say, but...
He walked out. What's so funny? This morning when he looked in the mirror, he walked out thinking he was the man. He has the white Converse on, the wallpaper blue, baby blue. No, that's old school. He don't like that anymore. Well, you're in New York. Now you want button one. Yeah, there you go. He's from Vegas. You don't get it.
Well, we're in the era of skinny jeans, so who knows what the fuck is fashionable and not anymore. I don't even know.
He's got stretch to fit jeans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they need to stretch.
Like the girls wear?
Yeah, the skinny jeans, right?
Spandex,
He
knows what stretch to fit jeans are. He knows, bro.
So, how many months are we removed from the Anderson Silva fight? July, August, September. So, you're 2 months and change removed from the Anderson Silva fight. Has the euphoria of that just amazing victory and dominant win, has it worn off, or is it still kind of lingering?
Nah, it wore off. I'm not really thinking about it every day and losing sleep over the excitement of it. I'm just kind of on to the next one. On to the next one. I got a lot of doubters to prove wrong in this next fight. I got to go out there and win again for the first one to really be justified in my mind. So I got to go out there and do my thing. Is
it justifiable in your own mind, or is it justifiable as far as fans and media? Because one thing that pissed me off, I picked you, RJ picked you. I think everyone that does this show picked you to win and to beat Anderson Silva. But I still go on the message boards and comment sections, and they're like, oh, Silva was clowning. It was a fluke. He's going to come back. He's going to have his hands up, and he's going to have a TKO in the second round. Is that the thing that motivates you as far as proving the doubters wrong? Or is it stuff in your performance that you're like, I could have done something better?
No, you got to prove all these doubters wrong. There's a lot of doubters out there, and it's expected. He's the greatest of all time. People can't fathom the thought of that guy actually losing. They just see him as a phenom, and he can knock anybody out he wants to and anytime he wants. So the fact that he actually lost to a guy legitimately does not make sense to them. So, of course, they're going to be like, oh, he was fooling around, which he was, but he does in every other one of his fights. And when he does that, and knocks people out while he does that, and people can't hit him when he does that, he's amazing. He's the best thing ever. But when he gets knocked out, it's like, oh, next time he's not going to do that. But yeah.
You're a slight underdog in the rematch. I don't know if you know that. Does that surprise you, shock you, upset you, or do you not care?
I don't care. Again, it's one of those things you expect. You're fighting Anderson Silva. He's been in the sport so much longer than me. He's done so much more than I have. He's known as the greatest of all time. Me, did I have 6 fights in the UFC? Yeah, I think I've had 6 fights in the UFC. So this would be my 7th fight. Is that right? I don't even know. Yeah, wow.
Counting the fights preciously, we can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 10-0. I don't have that many fights, and so I expect that he has a lot more fan base than me. There's a lot more people that have been watching him for a lot longer time. I don't have that much promotion behind me, so I expect all that.
Yeah, that management team better get on that. Get some more promotion for your boy.
Honestly, any really good managers out there, come out of the woodwork
Ooh.
find me at the gym.
Ooh.
One commercial have you, just tell me that you're a great manager, I'll believe you.
Ricky's sliding him a business card right now.
I'll hire you on the spot. You get 30% of everything.
This has officially become a roast.
I'm gonna get harassed like you won't believe now.
I could imagine.
If anybody listens to this show, I'm in big trouble.
Well, do you think beating Anderson Silva the second time would? Because basically, like you talked about, even though you knocked him out cleanly, it was a dominant win, second round finish. He's got the bigger fan base. He's still the favorite. He's still ranked pound for pound. Do you think beating him the second time would erase all of that, and you would completely take over Anderson Silva's mantle, or do you think that's something that would take a whole career to do?
Yeah, no, I think after I beat him the second time, I'm going to call it now. There's going to be excuses. Oh, he's old. He got too old. He didn't beat him in his prime. Silva's done. They'll take things away from me, but I'm sure at that point there'll be some. I'll get some more fans and more people behind me that think I was actually better too, though.
Does it get to you when people blame your win on Silva's shenanigans and not your skills?
It's just one of those. It doesn't bother me. I just know. I just know the deal. It's all good. I understand where they're coming from.
What separated you from everyone who tried to fight Anderson before that wasn't able to beat him? Like what made you different in your opinion?
Confidence. I'm calling it right now.
Confidence, hard work, my skill set, but more than anything, confidence. I was not going in there to lose. He wasn't going to be doing anything before the fight, during the fight. There wasn't anything I was going to look at in his previous fights that were going to make me feel like I didn't belong in the cage with him.
Now, this training camp, something specifically that I found interesting was one of your coaches, Jon Danaher, put together a specific plan where in the past, obviously you trained hard, you focus on all aspects of your game, but it wasn't as organized as it is now. Going into this fight, everyone's saying Anderson Silva 2.0. Now it's a serious Anderson. He's not going to clown, so it's a totally different ball game. Do you switch up your training camp, or do you think that in the last training camp leading up to the first fight, you found the recipe for success moving forward, not only with Anderson Silva, but in the middleweight division in your career?
Yeah, no, I'm not changing anything. I haven't changed anything any one of my fights. It's go forward, go forward, and anything I feel out there, go for. Don't hold anything back. It's a chess match. When he thinks I'm going to do something, do the opposite, and that's really it. Be aggressive, and I feel like my cardio is going to be better than anybody at 85, so just push a hard pace.
What is something that, if you could pinpoint one thing that you'd like to improve on? Jiu-Jitsu is in grappling, wrestling, whatever is off the charts. Your striking looks better in every fight, but if there's one thing that you could say, this is the one facet of my game that I really want to improve on and get better on, what would it be?
Right now, it changes every week, honestly. I fall in love with a different art every week. That's pretty much how I get better. I'm gonna say right now I've been focusing on. I want to get better in jiu-jitsu.
Really?
Yeah.
And how's Danaher been with that? Have you been going to Henzo's a lot?
Yeah. Yep. Actually not that much. I've been staying on Long Island a lot. I went to Danaher one time, I think. So I've been staying on Long Island with Matt Serra and some of the good black belts out there. But it's more of a thing where I'm training it, and I beat up this little kid to my left all the time in jiu-jitsu on the road. The things I do to him, man.
What are some of the things you do to him?
What's the polite way of saying? You can't say that though. What's the polite way of saying like just one-handed, just grabbing his neck and squeezing it till he
kind of like Seabass did to Lord Christmas in Dumb and Dumber.
He is both of his hands on my arm and he can't do anything about it. Like he can't remove it, no matter how much he pushes his pelvis to the ceiling. It doesn't.
Doing the older brother with his hands. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah, the thing. I'm like, I put his arms behind his. I put his arms behind his head, and just hold him there. He's on his back, and he just can't do anything. I could literally like goober into his mouth, and he can't do anything about it.
Well, let's get
If you did that to Anderson Silva in the rematch, I think it would be guaranteed you would take his pound for pound mantle.
Well, let's get his manager on the air. I want to know what it's like to be manhandled by Chris Weidman, because it's got to be tough. You know that you can't physically do anything to this guy. What is it like to be manhandled, not only by Chris Weidman, but essentially your client?
Just any warmth of any man's hands makes me feel good.
Well, you know what? From the shirt, I could tell that's
yes.
the case.
I long for human contact.
No, he wants
it's
an
not
honest
that
answer. He wants to know what it's like to be, what type of choked by me.
Well, I have to build his confidence. If his manager, who's half his size, is beating him up.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a 4-time state champion in wrestling, so he likes to tell people that, and so when we roll, it doesn't come out at all. I don't see an ounce of training in this guy's life. You know what? The only thing he has some like instincts, kind of like a cat, like a house cat that's getting frisky. But, you know what? Like if a cat got like wet and it got really pissed off and started like wiggling really hard, that's his reaction to when I'm kind of beating the crap out of him.
I'm
He's a frisky cat.
It's all about him. Okay,
A frisky cat.
it's all about him.
Frisky cat.
I gotta build his
Frisky
confidence.
cat.
Even the week of his fight in Vegas, we played Madden, FIFA. Everything. I lost everything on purpose because he takes it personal.
See, that's a good manager.
Yeah, what's
That is
actually
good.
awesome? He's still losing in it. I appreciate even after my fight. He's 0-6 in
Hey,
Madden.
I had to wait to get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, geez, we finally got paid yesterday, so of course.
See, I
we've
told
been
you
on the
about
road.
these guys. These managers, man, they're all about the money.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all about exploiting the fighters for their gifts, their hard work, and taking advantage of them. What do you have to say about that?
It feels great.
You got to wait for that check to clear.
I can't wait to leave right now.
Feels as good as a man's touch.
Focus on bigger and better,
Oh, man.
So what's the weirdest thing that you've had to do as far as promoting this fight? Because, again, Dana White the other day, he set the bar high. He's like, this card, UFC 168, is going to be bigger than UFC 100. So I'm sure you got to do a bunch of weird, different types of promotional things. What's the weirdest thing you've had to do, whether it's on a spot on a show or something in an interview, since you've been promoting this fight?
I feel like there hasn't been anything too weird. Maybe choking people out on air, stuff like that.
Jim Norton, did you have to choke him out? Because I think he has a weird sexual fetish. I think,
and he wouldn't. He wanted to the point where he started blacking out. Then he's like, then let go. He liked that feeling of coming back from.
He's like David Carradine. He loves the autoerotic asphyxiation. Apparently,
I'm not gonna lie, it was a little weird.
Yeah, it is.
And
very
he's
weird.
really small, so I had to bend over. It was just.
And he doesn't even really have a neck either. So it's I can't even know how you figure out how to find his neck either.
Usually, I use like the top of my top of my forearm. I use my wrist to get underneath his little neck.
Pinky choke.
Yeah,
the only way to get under there.
There you go.
Is there a responsibility now that you're a champion? I mean, with Anderson Silva, he was kind of an aloof guy. He was tough to deal with. Like Dana White's always talking about how whack he was and hard to deal with, and didn't really do a lot of media. Wasn't in front of a lot of people. Did you even think about that? Does that ever cross your mind that, hey, I'm the champ, maybe I should act a certain way or something? Anything along those lines?
Yeah, I have no problem. I just saw the money team walk outside. He just, has 2 security guards, pushing away all the fans. No autographs. I thought about just big time in the world.
Oh man!
But you know what? I'm just gonna be myself and for now I'm being myself, and that's it. I'm the champion, and I guess I'm changing the way people think of champions, I guess.
Did you watch Mayweather versus Canelo a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
When you see, how much money he's making, the $41 million guaranteed, it just completely took over the world, that whole event. Does that make you think, damn, man, what can I do to get there?
Yeah, I don't think I will ever get there, no matter what.
Yeah, it's a lot of cash.
I think he made $120 million overall with the pay-per-view buys.
He gets a piece of everything. He gets a piece of the concessions. He gets a piece of the pay-per-views. He gets a piece of the gate. I mean, it's insane.
Why do you think you can never get there? Is it because you don't think you'll be that good? Or you won't be that
I
good
just
of a
think.
marketer?
I mean, first of all, mixed martial arts is a very young sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up right now. We have cards every 3 times a week. I mean, 3 times a month. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of smaller shows that are on TV too. So it's just more saturated. These guys have 2 fights a year, pretty much, where that people are actually watching. So it's a lot more promotion behind it, just for one fight. So it's just a different type of business structure. The UFC is, it's there's guys on the undercard who are getting paid a lot more than guys in boxing on the card.
Definitely.
Mayweather's the only guy making money. Canelo did pretty good, I guess, but I mean, you have to be the top of the top to make any money. In the UFC, you're making money coming up.
Do you wish that MMA went more towards the boxing route, like maybe just put on 4 pay-per-views a year and just made them huge and massive, or do you like the style that it is now with just a bombardment of fighting every weekend?
Well, right now being champion, I wish they would just do my fight a year.
No, that'd be nice.
that would be great for me, but then it would be terrible for the sport and terrible for the young guys coming up. So, I'm happy the way they structure it for now. I mean, they have huge deals. They have deals with Fox where they have to do a certain amount of fights per year and different things, and we have the opportunity to be on Fox.
Yeah.
So it's good for everybody.
Did you have specific goals when you entered mixed martial arts and entered the UFC? Did you have deadlines to get there? Like, what was your goal? Basically, I want to be champion in my 10th fight.
I wanted to be champion as fast as possible. I just felt I would always kind of look at guys like GSP and even Jon Jones as I got into the UFC, they were champions and they were young. I'm like, I want to be champion when I'm young. I didn't want to be one of those guys who got up there when I'm older and you have a couple fights and you're out of your prime. I wanted to be young as a champion and have a bunch of fights in my prime while I'm champion. So that was always something. That's why I took a bunch of short notice fights. I took fights at high risk but high reward to kind of skip myself up there.
Now, speaking of Jon Jones, I'm assuming you were in Toronto. Obviously, you're wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hoodie right now. What did you think about the Jones-Gustafsson fight as a fight fan?
I was right there. Great fight. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. It was good. It was good to see Jon Jones be pushed. Good to see a guy in there, a young guy, who was big, who wanted to win the fight. And get to see Jon Jones get pushed. I actually thought Gustafsson won the fight at the time, and I didn't see it as a big screw job or anything like that. It was close enough where it could have went either way. But it's one of those fights I want to go back and actually watch and actually try to figure out who really won that fight.
Now, Jon Jones, his performance inside the cage, it's undebatable. I mean, the guy is incredible. The other night, I thought that was a defining moment in his career. But outside of the cage, he seems kind of abrasive, where fans dislike him. They think maybe he's too cocky or this or that. Why do you think that's so with Jon Jones? Why do you think that an athlete that's that dominant, that good, that gifted could be so good inside the cage and be so abrasive to certain fans outside the cage? Because we were talking about it on yesterday's show. A guy like Michael Jordan, very talented, and a lot of people say that he's kind of a dick, but at the same time, he wasn't as abrasive to most fans. Only the fans that were obviously fans of the Knicks when the Knicks played the Bulls in the finals, at the NBA Finals. Why does Jon Jones rub fans the wrong way, you think?
Yeah, I'm saying I guess it's something with his personality. That's all I can really say. I think there's some things in his personality that people get kind of see when he does his interviews and when they see him around, that they something about him they don't really like.
Now,
I don't really know.
Now, as a fight fan, again, as a fighter, you want to go in there and make short work of your opponents, get in and get out. But as a fight fan, what fighter do you appreciate? Do you appreciate a guy like Jon Jones who goes in there and dominates everyone? Or do you like to see a fighter face guys and kind of get tested? Because the other night, I saw a lot of fans who disliked Jon Jones turn over the other cheek and say, I like this guy because it was the first time he got tested. Watching fighting, do you appreciate seeing a fighter constantly be tested and then end up rising to the occasion? Or do you like those guys like Tyson in his prime that just go in, make short work of their opponents, devastating finishes?
No, I think I appreciate both. I appreciate both those scenarios. Whether they're finishing guys early, I just want to see guys. The biggest thing to me is I want both guys in there to be confident that they're going to win. If both guys are confident they're going to win, I don't care if it's a finish or not. It's going to be a great fight.
Well, I want to thank you. Obviously, your manager. How do you wrangle this guy and make sure he gets everywhere? Do you have like a fishing line with a $100 bill at the end, and you jump on his back and make sure he gets everywhere?
What are you trying? Whoa! What am I, a gorilla? What am I, a dog?
I don't. I just make sure Ryan keeps him in check.
They can't hear you.
I said I make sure Ryan keeps him in check.
Can you go into that a little bit more?
Into what?
Like, how do you like get me around to all these different places?
It's easy.
What's the secret?
There's no secret. It's just a touch. It's just the touch.
Physical touch or
both?
Bro, you're not. This is a
man-on-man
radio. This is a
touching on
radio
the
show. They can't just look at you and see your smile and think you're funny.
I'm not expecting them to be funny. It's a magic touch I have.
He's used to being like the cute kid who smiles and they just go like, oh,
and
he's
everyone's
so
like,
cute.
oh.
They forgive him. But when the kid actually
really
has to talk,
that's a tough question.
That's
He's
a tough
busy
question.
right now, and
It's an easy question, bro. UFC.
I don't know how I do it. I
sets
don't
it
really
up.
do anything. UFC
what are
sets
you
it
paying
up.
him for?
UFC sets it up. A guy like Ryan, and then I just make sure Ryan's on top of his job.
Bro, you're really answering this question seriously?
So you manage Ryan too, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I manage Ryan, and then also his coaches, and Chris.
Ryan's coaches?
Well, thanks, man. You've been a great sport, obviously. Thank you, Chris, for your time. Man, December 28th cannot come fast enough. The rematch, the super fight. I'm calling it a super fight between Chris Weidman, Anderson Silva. Stacked card. Enjoy the rest of your time in New York, and enjoy the time with your family because obviously nowadays you're so busy, it's scarce.
And did we say today you guys could get autograph signings 5 o'clock? Did we ever say that?
No, say it now. Whatever you got to do,
on
man.
John Street in UFC Gym today, 5 o'clock. Signing autographs, me and Anderson Silva. Make sure there's some New York fans there that are actually going to support me. All right?
Oh,
appreciate
dude.
that.
I
Thank
would
you.
be very disappointed if not. Well, there you go. Chris Weidman here, SiriusXM Fight Club.
Bye-bye.